What's the most unintentionally creepy thing you've ever said? My dog was sick, so I went to Walgreens to get a rectal thermometer for my dog. I looked for Vaseline but all they had was some off-brand lube. I stopped an employee to ask if that lube is safe for dogs. Oh, the look of horror that she gave me. Very nice grocery store cashier told me she hoped I have a wonderful day. I have no idea what possessed me to respond with a friendly "Thank you, I hope you never die." She was probably scared to walk to her car that night. This brought me to tears. I can kind of see why your brain was in that area, but I think wishing them immortality is a bit too much. Maybe "thanks, I'll kill you last" would have been better. I go to a school with squirrels all over the place. One day I'm walking, and I see there is a squirrel like a foot from me. I whisper, "I'm so close to you," smiling at it, and a lady I had not previously noticed turned around and gave me the most upset and scared look while she got the fuck away from me. You should have smiled at her and tried to explain you were talking to a squirrel. That would have made you look sane. Male, and I normally wear boxer underwear. But as it happened, one night out at clubs, I happened to be wearing some distinctively patent briefs that I'd received as an Xmas gift. Standing on the sidewalk at closing, I catch a glimpse of a girl in white pants, and the light is such that I can see the print on her panties. Lo and behold, it's the same as the ones I'm wearing. Thinking this gives us an instant connection, I start towards her yelling, "Hey, check it out," while unzipping my pants. TLDR. Tried to show girl my underwear was her underwear's twin. I don't see what could possibly go wrong. My only concern is that it may be too good of an idea. I was hanging out with some friends, and one couple had a crying baby. It was giving me a headache, so when it suddenly stopped crying, I mumbled in what must have been a super creepy voice, "Oh yeah, that's nice." Everyone else got silent, so I looked up. The baby was breastfeeding. At least you didn't mention being thirsty right before. I was at PetSmart with my girlfriend. I walked around while she shopped for dog Christmas presents, and I looked at the fish and the small animals. In one area of the store, there are cages that contain guinea pigs, some of which are fluffy with long hair and look cuddly. There was a young lady with shoulder-length blonde hair looking intently at one of the guinea pigs. My girlfriend had the exact same haircut. I came up behind her, put my face kind of beside her head and above her shoulder, and said in a whisper, "They look so soft," in reference to the guinea pig. At the same time I rested my hand on her hip, pretty low towards the ass area. Of course it wasn't her, it was some college girl looking at guinea pigs. The worst part is that I realized when I touched her that it wasn't my girlfriend, and consequently let out this shaky gasp of shock and horror directly into her ear, like I was breathing on it. She whipped around and started to say something to me, but stopped and just ran out of the store when she saw who it was. I had a full beard. There was an employee like 5 feet away who saw the whole thing and did absolutely nothing. TLDR. PetSmart employees do not interact with customers under any circumstances. I worked at a cafe/bistro in Kona, Hawaii when I was an awkward 19-year-old as a dishwasher, but when it was slow, they would send the servers home, and I'd walk orders out to tables. One day this lady was breastfeeding her kid in full view at her table, and of course I was the only one available to take her drink out to her, so I take her coffee out to her and try like hell to avoid eye contact. I end up spilling a small carafe of milk at her table. Super. So, I had to come back out to clean up the milk mess and be more awkward, and I was trying to make small talk, so this came out of my mouth. I can't believe how much milk those little things can hold. Yeah, I actually said that. Her jaw dropped, and I just walked back inside and sat in the employee bathroom on the toilet for like half an hour with a really hot face, just replaying the moment over and over in my head. My face still gets hot with embarrassment just thinking about it. I suddenly yelled, "You all are making me hard," to a class of high school students when I was a student teacher. What I had actually meant to say is something like, "You all are making this hard to do." Yeah, I didn't really live that one down. Every time I asked certain students to do something they would say okay, Mr. fell asleep on keyboard. I certainly wouldn't want to make you hard again. This reminds me of sophomore year when the student teacher gave us mini quizzes and called them little testies. Your student teacher knew exactly what he was doing. During an impromptu speech, I meant to say, even though I can't shoot hoops with the kids anymore, it's still a part of me. I accidentally said, even though I can't shoot kids anymore, it's still a part of me. Eloquent. Was driving back from a first date with a girl. Went poorly. I was even more shy, nervous, and awkward back then. We are driving through an area with lots of planes, not a car in sight for miles. Gas is starting to run low, and I decide we should head for a gas station. And then I blurted out, man, we could both die out here and nobody would ever find our bodies. She looked horrified for a few seconds. I then realized, oh man, we should find a gas station was something I didn't say out loud before that. I just thought it in my mind. I stumbled towards explaining what I actually meant by that morbid comment. Needless to say, the rest of the trip was kinda quiet and weird. TLDR. Accidentally kinda implied I was going to kill a woman in the middle of nowhere. Or she was thinking of killing you, and she freaked out when she found out you were into her plan. Not me but my little brother. He was 12. We were at a restaurant and he wanted to order the seasonal fruit. We were discussing what we thought was in season that time of the year, and he just went ahead and ordered it without asking. When the waitress, wearing a low-cut shirt, brings the plate and it has cantaloupe on it, she leans over to put it on the table and my little brother says, "Oh, I see melons are in season." We were laughing too hard to apologize. Smooth. I bet they were. Not me, but it was a gem I witnessed. I work in a hospital. I was taking a patient back to his room from a diagnostic procedure, and he was on his cell talking to a friend the entire time. We got in the elevator along with another nurse, and as it started to rise the patient lost his cell signal. "Can you hear me? Damn it, end call." The nurse looks over at him and says, "You're going to die in here." Complete silence as my patient, and I gaped at her, suddenly realizing what she had just said. A panicked look crossed her face. "Your cell signal. Your cell signal will die in the elevator." Oh my god. The elevator stopped and she ran. Right in the middle of sex, and while trying to talk dirty I said, "I can feel your womb." We were both creeped out, stopped for a minute to laugh, and continued. "Please tell me womb came out as a wolf howl." Was at the university, and some girls were out in the grass in bikinis trying to get a tan. My friend says, "Damn, those girls look great." I look over and think they really aren't to my tastes. Just down the street were some people passing out hot dogs for student elections. I get sidetracked and say they'd probably taste great with some mustard. Whoops. Oh god. This reminded me of an awkward moment I had in college. I was taking a photography course and walked up to the top floor of a parking garage to get a nice photo of the campus. Standing there enjoying the view and snapping pics when I look down and realize the parking garage is next to a dorm. I realize this because there were a bunch of girls in bikinis getting tans who were now covering up and pointing at me, the guy looking down on them with a telephoto lens. There's a gas station behind the restaurant I work at. So, one day, whilst on break, I walked over and bought a bunch of snacky items and a couple scratch-offs. On my way out, a girl bumps into me, and I drop my items. She's wearing nothing but a sports bra and running shorts. She's also covered in sweat. I'm assuming she just finished jogging. She's apologizing profusely, and I don't want her to feel bad. So I just say, "Hey, don't worry, it happens all the time. Sweaty girls bump into you all the time," she asks. Without thinking, I say, "Oh god, I wish." She turned red, apologized, and left. I bartend on the weekends at a major chain restaurant. The POS stations, the computers where we plug all the orders in, won't allow credit card tips over 30% without manager approval. They need to swipe a card to make it work. So it was the end of the night, just me and my manager behind the bar, and I say to him, "Can you help me put this tip in? It's too big to enter." "Well, did you make it fit?" I once told a colleague that he had something in his teeth. He said he didn't care, and what I wanted to say was, I wish I had the balls to do that, and what came out was, I want your testicles. Got away lightly with a weird look for that one. This is my favorite. It's like there's no connection whatsoever between your brain and your mouth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments below.